रंग लाएगी, किस्मत बदल जाएगी। खुद पर भरोसा रखो, सफलता हर हाल में मिल जाएगी। Hi everyone, I welcome you all to this video, and today's our topic is very relevant to colors. Today we would be studying about HTML colors, how we can display various colors on our HTML web pages. So there are various ways you can also use the predefined color names or that RGB hex or HSL or RGB HSLA values. What are these? These are various codes or values that you can write within your HTML element in the styling part, and you can directly apply the color to various web parts. Like there are 140 standard color names. So these color names directly you can write in your HTML styling. Here you can see, like in this case, heading H1 is being given the color style is equal to background color Dodger blue. So Dodger blue is a type of color, this one, that is already defined in the HTML. So if you will simply write Dodger blue, the browser will understand and it will display the heading in the Dodger blue case. Like in this you can see this hello world is written in the Dodger blue color. So likewise, this style is equal to background color tomato. So tomato is already a color name that is being used or being defined in the HTML HTML colors. So you need not to write the hex code values. Simply you can just write the tomato and it will display the relevant colors. Likewise, you can also change the text color. So for text color, you need not to mention the background color, simply color. So this style attribute would be added in your H1 element or P element or whatever element whose color you want to change. You just have to use this style attribute is equal to this property followed by its value. Here property is color and value is tomato. So the text would be display in tomato color, right? You can also set the border color. So for border, you have to write like this: style is equal to border colon, then thickness of the border, and then followed by whether the line is to be solid or dashed or dotted, whatever, or tomato is the color. So this is the whole syntax you have to write for the border. If you want to define the thickness, that line width, and as well as that color. So other ways is if you have to apply some other color combination that is not in those 160, or for those 160 also you can simply write the color values. So color values you can specify it by using RGB value. RGB means red, green, blue. These are the primary colors. So their values if you define or you set in that HTML element, so the color will be according to it. So some of the colors that we use very frequently we can see here. So there you can see the red, green, blue, there are the three values. Red is of 255 value. So from value it can be from 0 to 255. So their values can be from 0 to 255. So whatever the values would be, the display of color would be according to it. Here in this case, this one is showing the red, this one is showing the green, and this one is showing the blue part. So these three different colors, these are mixing and they are making the other colors. Like in our real world also, these three are primary colors. By mixing these colors in various ratios, different colors can emerge. So here if you would write RGB, this is a type of RGB values type of writing code in the HTML elements. If we will use that hexadecimal, we know hexadecimal from 0 to F, there is different values. So these FF6347, these two values, totally 6 values, these are used to write the color values in color property in hex values. Or you can use the HSL. HSL means hue, saturation and light. So this HSL can be also be used, this value can also be used to display the color. So we will now see this question. Do you remember any legal HTML color value? Which one of the following is a legal color HTML value? Legal HTML color value means which is already defined in the HTML language. So alpha banana is not there, tomato is the correct answer. I hope you have made the right guess, right? So now we will see these colors in details. Here you can see alpha channel. Alpha channel means opacity. So we can also show its opacity, like how much transparent it has to be. So basically there are from 0 to 255. These values can be there for red, green, blue. So you can make this much color combinations of mixing 265, 256, 256, 256 of red, green and blue. You can make such a large number of color combination. And if you set it to 0, so if everything is set to 0, it will display black. So whenever we have to make the color black, we display RGB 000. And when we have to display it white, we would be using 255, 255, 255. And you can also set the opacity like shade of gray. So if you will mix the proper red, green, blue in proper proportion, so it will you will get the value of gray. So these are various shades of gray, right? So whatever if the value would be less, the shade of gray would be more dark. If the value would be more, the shade of gray would be lighter, because whenever we will approaching 255, it will be more whitish. 255, 255, 255, it would be white color, right? So RGBA, A means alpha channel. If you will write the number from 0.00, matlab fully transparent, and 1.0 means it is not transparent, it is totally opaque. So you can see the opacity here. One is fully opaque. So this can also be used to, this parameter can also be used to define the opacity in the RGBA value. So likewise, if you will change this alpha, you can see when at 1 it is fully opaque, at 0 it is fully transparent. And you can change the color also with the help of varying the values of red, green and blue. So these are primary colors from where you can make different values. Now we will see other type hex values. So RR, GG, BB. So these are in 6 pairs, hexadecimal. So it is same as decimal. Like in decimal you write 00 for 0 and 255 for FF. So the highest value would be FF and the lowest value would be 00. So likewise for red, green or blue, you can see it is in pairs, two pairs. The first two is for red, other two is for green and the next two is for blue. So and the value can be set from in hexadecimal from 00 to FF. So from these the color combination can be changed. So this is hex type of showing the values. What is the highest hex number of the following? So highest hex number would be this BB, right? So likewise you have to change the color in your HTML elements. Here HSL means hue, saturation and lightness. So hue is a degree on color wheel. It is actually 0 to 360. And from 0 to 0 is red, 120 is green and 240 is blue. Saturation is a percentage. 0% means a shade of gray and 100% means is the full color. Lightness is also a percentage value. So here it is a percentage value. 0% means black and 100% is white. So when you will write HSS 0, 100% and 50%, so it will show the color red. You can see here. So you can experiment and you can write the color accordingly. Saturation can be 100 is pure color. It means no shades of gray. 50% gray, but you can still see the color. 0% is completely gray. You can no longer see the color. So you can see 0%. Whenever you will see the 0%, it would be gray, completely gray. Lightness of a color can be described as how much light you want to give the color. How much lightness? 0% means no light, totally black, and 50% means somewhat lighter, and 100% means fully white. You can see when the lightness would be 100%, it will be fully white, and when it would be 0%, it would be fully black. So this is lightness that is being defined here. Shades of gray. Shades of gray can be with the help of 0, 0, 20%. Whenever the hue and saturation would be 0, 0, it would be a gray, and the lighter shades can be with the help of this lightness 20%, 30%, 40%. So that would be the lightness of that shades of gray. Alpha would be added to change the opacity or how much transparency is required in that color background. So where transparency is actually needed, because sometimes we need to show the colors along with the text or any image is there behind this color. So that background, and from the background, if you want that text or image should be shown to the user, so we are using this alpha or the opacity for that purpose. Now we will be seeing the HTML styles, like how we can do the styling. For styling, we are using the CSS. In great detail, we would be seeing the CSS after this HTML is over. CSS stand for cascading style sheets. What it can do, it is actually making a type of layout for various appearances, and you can write a CSS and you can apply this file across various multiple pages. So you need not to write the same type of color pattern or appearance for the different page again and again. You just write a simple file and you can apply it across various web pages. So how we are going to do it, we would be seeing later on. Like here, CSS is styles and colors. It will manipulate text, colors and boxes. So you can change the color layout as well as the boxing can also be done. Color, font, size or spacing between the elements, how elements are positioned and how it can be displayed. Their background images or background colors can also be used. So different type of displays for different devices and screens and much more. So cascading means a style applied to a parent element will also apply to all the children element within the parent. Parent children, we have seen that HTML is a type of tree inheritance where there would be various levels like our parent, children, sub-children or great parents. So like this, if you set the color of the body text to blue, so all that everything element, all HTML element, whatever you have written like heading, paragraph or whatsoever, it would always be shown in the blue color. So whatever you will specify for the parent HTML element, the same thing will be applied to all the children. CSS can be added to HTML document in three ways. Inline styling means as an attribute, style attribute inside the HTML elements that we have studied till now, that we have seen, like in the case of colors where we were applying colors, we were using the style attribute. Then in internal can be done by using this style element. We would be placing a style element in the head section where style tag would be used, and in that we can write the styles and we can write the various parameters we can pass, and we can make it do the appearance of the color of the element. In external, we can make a file, external CSS file, and we can link it to the HTML element by linking in the HTML page. So when we can make a CSS file. So what is the most common way? The most common way is to keep the styles in the external CSS file. The benefit is also that it becomes easier to demonstrate, as well as you can also apply the same file to various HTML pages. You need not to write again and again the same type of CSS file. You just write a same pattern of CSS file and you can apply it to different web pages just by simply linking that CSS file. So in this we have seen inline and internal styles because it would be easier for you to show here. But practically we are mostly using CSS as a separate file. Inline CSS, I have already told you that style color style attribute is being used in the heading, where the color parameter and its value blue is being passed here. So this is type of styling is done as is called as inline styling, where in the same line of the HTML element you are applying the style. Internal styling means you would be using this type of tag, style tag. You can see in the head we are using this style tag. So here it is clearly showing that body would be body section would be applied the color of powder blue, heading would be color blue, paragraph would be of color red. So likewise you can also use the style tag, and inside the style tag you can write the complete styling in the head. Always remember it would be in the head section. So this type of styling is called internal CSS. And external CSS means you will writing a separate file and you would be linking to that HTML page. And not only one page, you can apply a number of pages the same style sheet. So here you can see this is a HTML page. Now here you can link rel is equal to style sheet reference styles.css. So with this line we are linking our styles.css that we have written with this HTML page. So likewise you can write in every HTML page and you can apply the same kind of styling as it is mentioned in styles.css. External style sheet can be written in any text editor. You can simply write in any text and editor like a notepad or anywhere, and you have to just save it not with .html but with .css. So CSS file will always have an extension of .css. The file would be here style.css. Like here we have linked a file styles.css to this HTML file. So here the style.css would be like this and it would be saved as a extension .css. So in the HTML page, this style.css would be linked as an external file. So external style sheet, we can change the look of an entire website by changing one file. So one file CSS would be changed and whole look or whole appearance of all the web page would be changed. In CSS there are various colors property, like color property is used to text color, font families for defining the font that is to be used, and font size is text size. So there are various property that is being utilized in the CSS. Border property means whenever we are defining a border inside or around a HTML element, we are using the border property. Padding, what is padding? Padding is actually a space between the text and the border. So from the border, how much space should be there between the text, that is being done by padding. Margin is defining the outside border. So link to the external CSS can be referenced with the full URL. Suppose you have some website which is offering a style sheet, so you can also use that link. If you don't have that HTML.css file within your web server, you can simply use some other link also which is hosting that CSS file. So this can also be done by use of this linking. Link rel equal to style sheet href is equal to this. So whenever you write this code in your HTML page, HTML web page, it would be linking it to the web URL. And when it would be in the HTML folder, you can simply write the path of a file. So likewise, any linking can be done with the help of this href. If it is in the same page, we can simply write the file name. So this relative or absolute linking can be done with the help of this link element. So link element, we would be passing this rel attribute and href, and with the help of this we can use this CSS and we can change the appearance. So these are the things that we have studied. With the help of style tag, we will define the style information for an HTML document. It is basically used when we are doing the internal styling. Link is used when we are linking a document with an external resource. So here we are linking our HTML file with the CSS. So we are using the link tag. So this is the styling part. This is styling part that we have seen today, and the coloring part. Now we will move forward in the next lecture. Till then, you try to practice it. You write these codes. You try to change the various color combination and see how it is actually changing its appearance. Because if you will not practice on your own, it will be very difficult to teach you everything here. Because practice makes a man perfect. You must always remember that without practice, there is nothing that can be done. See you in the next lecture. Till then, bye bye. Take care.